welcome to another lesson. My name is Miss Bella. In today's lesson, we will be learning how to find missing addends. Do you know what addends are? Addends are simply the numbers you add together to get an answer. In most of your questions, you usually have two numbers you have to add together to get an answer. But in some questions, you have a number with an empty box and an answer. The missing addend there is the empty box. That means you have to find the number that is supposed to be in that empty box. Do you know how to find that answer? I'll tell you. For example, in a question like 4 plus empty box equals 10. The first thing you have to do is draw the number of bubbles for the answer. The answer here is 10. So that means we have to draw 10 bubbles. After drawing the number of bubbles for the answer, you then go on and cross out the number of bubbles for the number you have. Remember, you're supposed to add two numbers together, but here you have just one number. So you have to cross out the number of bubbles for that one number that you have. Here, that one number is 4, so we have to cross out 4 bubbles from the 10 bubbles we've drawn. After crossing out the bubbles for the number you have, you then count the rest to find the number that is supposed to be in the empty box. Now let's count the remaining. We have 6. That means 4 plus 6 will give us 10. Remember, to find the number that is supposed to be in the missing box, you have to draw the number of bubbles for the answer, then cross out the number of bubbles for the number you have. After then, you count the remaining bubbles to get your answer. Now let's try another question. 10 plus empty box equals 12. Remember that the first step is to draw the number of bubbles for the answer. Our answer in this question is 12, so that means we have to draw 12 bubbles. After drawing the number of bubbles for the answer, you then cross out the number of bubbles for the one number you were given in the question. That number here is 10. So that means we have to cross out 10 of the 12 bubbles we have. After crossing out the number of bubbles for the number you're given, you then count the rest to get the number that is supposed to be in the empty box. So now, after we've crossed out 10 out of 12 bubbles, we have 2 bubbles left. That means the number in the empty box is 2. 10 plus 2 equals 12. Now let's try one last one. 5 plus empty box equals 9. Remember the first step? Draw the number of bubbles for the answer. The answer here is 9. That means we have to first draw 9 bubbles. After drawing 9 bubbles, we then cross out 5 bubbles because 5 is the number we were given. After crossing out 5 bubbles, we then go on to count the remaining bubbles to find the number that is supposed to be in the empty box. What we have left here is 4. That means 4 is the number that is supposed to be in the empty box. So 5 plus 4 equals 9. Finding the number that is supposed to be in an empty box is very easy if you follow the steps. Remember, draw the number of bubbles for the answer, cross out the number of bubbles for the number you were given, and then count the rest to find the number you're supposed to have in the empty box. That's it for today's lesson, everyone. I'll see you in our next lesson. Bye.